Hello, Adam here. Thanks for joining me again. And today I've got a really nice colorful mountain scene for you. So let's just get to it. Enjoy. Alrighty, well I'm going to start today by grabbing my 2-inch brush. This is the same brush that I used to put on the liquid white. If you want to see how I put on the liquid white, I've got a video just for that. Alright, today I've got a standard 18 by 24 canvas in a vertical position. If you're interested in my brushes, I'll have links from time to time in the video. Okay, so I'll just grab the brush and come right up here and get some cad yellow, just a little bit. Don't need too much. I just want to start right over here and just put a little on the canvas. Just bringing it in, just from the side here. If it's a little streaky, that's just fine. Probably come down to about halfway or so. All right, about all I need for that. Now I'll reach over here and grab a large fan brush, some number 6 fan brush, and I'll just get a little white. Just a little bit. I'm going to come over here and go right over in here, put a little bit of a cloud. And really this is going to be the front edge of a larger cloud we're going to make here in a minute. A little bit of white streaking in there and maybe some over here. I just change the direction of that yellow right there a little bit, kind of coming in on an angle. See how easy that is? Just kind of change it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back to my 2-inch brush now, just kind of wipe it out a little bit. I've always got some paper towel sitting right down here to wipe out brushes. But for the most part, I try not to do a whole lot of washing brushes while I'm painting. Just don't like the odors. Okay, right up here, I've got some pre-mixed color. It's mostly red, all right, alizarin red, with just a little bit of yellow in it, a little bit of cad yellow. But you can see it's mostly red. Just get a little bit on the bristles. I'll start right over here. There we go. And just kind of put that in any old way, kind of light. All the way to the edge of that white that we put in right there. Okay, darker in this corner for sure. And I'll just bring it down to, again, about midway. I know I'm going to have a mountain in here, so I just want to bring the colors down far enough that when I set the mountain in, the colors will be a little bit below the mountain. Okay, let me set that down, and I'll reach over here and grab a mop brush. All right, this is a mop blending brush. That's what I use it for. It's just a really fine hair bristle brush, okay? Really good for blending. Let me just come up here and just turn. We'll look at these white areas and just kind of turn on them. Kind of makes it look like clouds. There we go. This may take a minute. I'll extend that color all the way to the corner there. And as you turn, the more you turn, you'll see the colors start to blend. Lines will fade away a little bit, and you can just make it as soft as you want to. Right up to that front edge right there. If you get some hairs left on your canvas, it's really no big deal. I've heard of people making big deals about it. It's not a big deal at all. Just kind of pluck them off and keep on painting. Okay. I'm just kind of looking and going over and getting some of the harsher lines out. Something about like that I think will work for today. I'll reach over, grab my palette knife, and we're going to mix up a little mountain color. I'll take a little bit of white. Don't want to get too much here. A little bit of black. There we go. We'll just make a light gray color. The lighter the color, the more it sets the mountain in the distance. Okay, so I'll just get a good bit on the knife there. And come right up here. Pretty pretty high in the sky. We'll keep our main peak kind of pointed here. There we go. And just bring it down and put another good bump right there. Okay. We'll drag it down here in a minute. Let's see, put a bump right there. And again, we'll drag all this just kind of down that way here in a second. And we'll let this just kind of go over in the distance there. There we go. And I'll take my brush, same brush. If it gets a little of the color in there, I'm fine with that. I think when the colors get in there, it kind of harmonizes a little. But mostly I'm just going to drag this mountain down. Just kind of making the shape that I want. But it should get lighter as we go down. Lighter and lighter. There we go. And lighter even this way. Fading it down. Let me go back to my mop brush and just to start to mist it up a little bit, just so I can see it. I'll have to do this several times today. Kind of mist it out over on the edge. Really make it misty, kind of sets it into the distance. I blur that line right there. Okay. But all this, I just turn on it and bring it up a little, start to mist it out. Again, all these colors blending in here. Perfectly fine. Reach over and grab my palette knife again and start to highlight this mountain. I'll start with a little bit of white. So let's start way over here. Not too concerned over here. We'll let that stay pretty light over that way. Just kind of dragging down. Not too worried about it. All right. Sometimes my biggest problem with mountains is I overthink it. Overthink it. Don't need to do that. Grab some paint and drag it down. All right, go to this peak here. Yeah, same thing. Just drag it down. Come back and smooth over the lines you don't like. No big deal. I'm intentionally letting it get a little bit duller as I go down. I think that makes a nice effect. Be the brightest up here at the top. Okay. I'll mix up a little shadow color now. And I'll just take a little bit more of that white and put it right in that mountain color I had left over. Take a little dab more blue. There we go. Just mix it about like that. Come over here and just change the color a little bit in these areas here. There we go. I'll come back and mist this out again here in a second, so I don't need a whole lot of paint. But we do want some. I can always go back and change it a little bit. There we go. Just kind of fine tune it. Let that stick out a little brighter right there on that slope. And come back this way. Drag just a little bit of that white color to this side as well. Okay, back in here, going to keep it kind of dark and mysterious. I like the way that looks. All right, let me go back to my mop brush. I'm just going to blend again. Start right in here, right at the bottom. Missed it out. Missed all this out. Right around that peak, gonna missed it pretty good. Over to this side, if you're real careful and just kind of go over that edge just a little bit, kind of fuzzes it up. And when it's all said and done, it'll help to make it look like that mountain is really going back into the distance. Got to be careful though. It's easy to get too much of that dark paint up there. Okay. I'll set that down, go to my 2-inch brush, and let's see. Let me get a little bit of brown using the same brush. A little bit of red. A little bit of brown, a little bit of red. I'm going to make some light, distant foothills. Yeah. Something about like that. So right over here, start right here. Very light, very distant. Come right down below that peak right there. A little bit of red in the hill. To me, harmonizes well with the sky. I think it really looks good. I'm just tapping and pulling off. Tapping and pulling off. Okay. Set that down, go back to my mop brush and blend. Just turn. Turn and blend. Sometimes you see me doing that, I'm just flicking a hair off. You might not even be able to see it. That's what I'm doing if I'm doing that there. Okay. Go to the other side now, make it a little darker. I'll just tap just a little black. We'll make this one just a little bit darker. We'll start right here. Bring it down right through there. Okay. Same thing, and I'll just tap. Bring it down a ways. Still seeing a little bit of those red tones in there. I really like that. Let's say somewhere right in there. Set that down. Go to my mop blending brush. It's important to not forget this step right here. Gotta get that mist in there. That's the separator. Look right there. That's what brings depth and distance to the painting. Go back to that 2-inch brush and one more time. I'll make it even a little bit darker. And right over here. We'll put another little hill in. About right there. There we go. This I'll turn and just pull up a little bit. Getting a little bit closer. Might be able to see some of these trees. All right. But otherwise, the same thing. Just tap. Okay. It's about right there is about all I need. I'll go back to my blending brush. Start over here. And just turn. Not pushing all that hard. Just turn. All right, I'm gonna reach over here and pick up my large fan brush. It's got a little yellow in it, that's okay. Drag down some of this black, some brown, I'll get a little green, but mostly a pretty dark color. Pretty dark color. Okay. Get a touch of this red in there. There we go. All right. Right over here, we'll start to build some trees. Right here on an angle, going upward. I'll start right about here. Pretty small, just tapping. Tapping and pulling off. I want to be very intentional to go upward on the angle. Most of that hill got covered up. That's okay. Changing the heights of the trees. Pushing and pulling off. Just reloading my brush here. There we go. Reload as you need to. Let this one stick all the way up into there. I like to fill in the gaps at the bottom. Make it nice and dark. Bring it all the way down into there or so. Nice and dark down here. All right. We'll leave that about like that for now. And I'm going to reach over here and grab a clean brush, a clean 2-inch brush. Get a little yellow. Touch just a little bit of red. Don't need too much of that red. So I barely touched it. Okay. And right over in here. I'll start tapping my way down here. It's going to pick up some of that dark color. That's okay. Start to build the lay of the land. This angle is important. Look at the angle, it's important. Picking up some of that dark color from the trees comes down and puts some shadows in the grass. Very, very nice effect. Just starting to build it out so I can see it. I can look at the colors, judge if I need to change the colors, leave the colors, but so far I think I like that color. It's a nice, bright, grassy looking color. To me, it matches the scene. I'm going to make it just a little bit darker now. So I'm just going to touch just some of that dark stuff and right back over in here. Build a really faint hill this way. There we go. Just so it's not totally white right there when I lay some trees in here in a second. Okay. There we go. Let me go back to my large fan brush and put some more trees in here. Mix up a little more of that color, maybe a little bit more green. And right here, let's set a big old tree in all the way up to about right here. All right, and I just put a line in it and bring it down. That serves two purposes. It gives me a guide to put my tree, but also will kind of look like a trunk a little bit. All right, just right on the corner of my brush, right at the top. I just pretty much start right in the center, a little below the point, and just touch it. Kind of go back and forth. And for this, I'm doing just a little bit of an upward push on it. And I'm going to leave the branches kind of sparse. That is just fine. All right. I just bring it all the way down. Not much to it. All the way down to about right there. So I think that's where it needs to stop. And I'll put another little tree in. Yeah, right here. We'll bring it up above this hill here into this white area. I think that contrast will look good. Right about here. There we go. And the same thing. I'll just right on the corner there. Right about there. Okay. And if I want to help this trunk out a little bit, I can take a knife and maybe poke it up a little bit. I'm going to leave that one alone. I like the way that one looks. Always come through here, do the same thing. When you got a little color on there, you can kind of put a few sticks in it. All right. Okay. Maybe for that side over there, I'll get a little more color. And just turn a couple of these into trees you can see with a little definition. Maybe this one right here. Got a little definition in it. And let's do one right here. That way you can tell what type of trees these are. And maybe this big guy over here we'll turn him into a more defined tree as well. Okay. Go back and grab the 2-inch brush that we was laying the land in with, and I'm going to continue with that. Touch a little bit of the red again and into the yellow. Again, not too much red. Now we're going to change the angle and go this way. All right. Start about right there. And you need it to be a little bit darker like that. Oh, it's something about like that. There we go. Picks up the dark color from the trees, provides a little shadow. And as we go down with our color here, puts a little variation of color in this hill as well. Go back over here. Bring this down all the way. Okay. and back to here. And when I want to hurry this process along, sometimes I'll do it this way. I need to get some more paint first. There we go. And when you turn and push this way, it brings the grass closer to you. What I mean by that, it makes the grass blades look bigger. So if they look bigger, it seems to bring the painting forward. Just changing the color up a little bit as I come forward. Put a little bit of some more darker tones right in there. There we go. But overall, kind of a golden little hill here. Go back and plug some of those holes that look a little too white, maybe. All I got to do is just tap the brush and pull off. Very, very simple. All right, I'm going to go to a clean 1-inch brush now. All right, 1-inch brush. And I've got some pre-mixed lavender color up here. All right. All I did was take a little bit of Prussian blue and a little bit of alizarin, mix them together to where it's obviously more to the red side than the blue side. I'm just going to touch that lightly. Clean brush on this, clean brush. I'd even tap it a little bit to make sure it's not going to come out too strong. I'm going to start back in here. I'm just going to tap in some spots. All right. Don't want to overdo it. It's really easy to overdo this here, but just to make it look like there's a few clovers or something like that coming in. Bring a few up here. But again, just a few. Don't overdo these. All right. And maybe over here on the edge, we'll go ahead and, there we go. Be a little darker over to the edge. So just using the color of that, keeping it dark to the edge is a nice effect. Really, our lighter color is all right here. All right here. And right in here. But again, caution. You've got to do this very sparingly, or it will overtake the whole painting. Just get a little color in here. All right. And let's see. Maybe you can see just a little bit popping up there. Kind of helps bring this forward hill a little bit closer to us. That's good. Kind of blend the bottom of that a little bit. And same thing in here. But a little bit of these just kind of popping up. This is the closest hill that we have. All right. Already at the point where it could almost be overdoing it. All right. You know, I really do like this just the way it is. I think we could be done with this right now if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and grab a filbert brush and, oh, we'll just get a little bit of brown, black, dark color here. And right in here, we'll just stick up a tree. Right about here. There we go. Something like that. I'm going to reach way over here and grab a liner brush. I didn't have one ready, but I got it now. And let's bring this on up to a good point right in there or so. Don't have to do too much with this tree. Not at all. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my fan brush, get a little bit of color on here, maybe throw a little more green in it. And we'll build us a tree right here. Start right here at the top. Make it kind of sparse. I like it when they look that way. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot with these trees. You can tell it's there. Okay. All right. And I tell you what, let's take this tree and let's make it a little taller. That'll help it out a little bit. There we go. Back to my fan brush and just gently. Yeah, just make that guy just a little taller. I think I like the look of it a little bit better now. Okay. All right, let's go back to the filbert brush, get some more paint. Just some dark paint, and let's put one more tree in. How about, oh, we get a big tree in right here. Make it a little bigger. All the way up and off the canvas. Okay. Set him right there. Get my liner brush. Put a little branch coming out right there. Kind of wiggle it out. Not all that important what the branches look like. They'll be kind of covered here in a second anyways. And we'll have another one coming up right here. All right. You set that down a second. Mix up a lighter color. Yeah, I'll do it right there. Put a tinge of yellow in it. And let's see. That's going to be really hard for you to see. I'll just get some more white. Let's try that. But we'll make this side of the tree here obviously lighter. All the way up. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm just taking and dragging. That's all. Come back to the other side. Drag it back the other way. I'm about out of black on my palette. If I had some more, I'd probably go back and make this even darker on this side. I'm trying to do it now with some Van Dyke. It'll work a little bit, but black would have been probably a little better. All right. just to have a real contrast there in the bark. That don't look too bad. And we got to do this. Let's see, we got to go back and cover these feet here. Might be a little shadow under the tree. Let's see. Maybe even a little bit of the clover is right there, covering that tree. Okay. And the same thing over here. And a little bit darker color here. And we'll cover the bottom of this tree. Again, I'm just pushing and letting the bristles stick up. Just covering it to the point I think it looks good. And again, under the tree can be kind of dark. No problem with that at all. Especially on this painting, kind of dark here, dark to the sides, light here. Maybe we'll get just a little bit of this lavender in here. All right. Stick up a couple blades of grass. Just on that big tree. Don't need too much. All right. And let's see. Well, we better finish this thing off with a couple branches up there. We go back to my fan brush. I'll wipe it out just a little bit. Get some green. A little dark. Right up here, just on the tips of these branches, I'll just kind of push up. There we go. Just kind of randomly, don't overthink how these go in there. If you overthink it, that's when you won't like it. I'll make them a little bit darker. This back side here. Put a few here too. There we go. All right. And with that, I think we'll call this painting complete. I really hope you enjoyed this painting. I hope you'll give it a try. I really think with some practice, you'll be able to do it. All right. Until next time, be blessed, and remember, if I can paint, you can too. See you next time.